Okay, the timers. So thank you so much for your participate. Today we are talking about the ethic and mindfulness. So this is the based on the one sutta. One sutta. This sutta is Jagriya Sutta. Jagriya Sutta, and I will sing that. I will be send the link later. So this sutta also explaining about the ethic for the meditator, how to improve and also how to develop our concentration and insight meditation. So in this sutta also emphasize to study about the ethic. And there's a totally nine. There's a totally nine ethics in this sutta. In Anguttara Nikaya, Jagriya Sutta, Jagriya Sutta. So, let us see that ethics in mindfulness is the framework that ensure mindfulness practice like a moral principle, like a creating a safe and inclusive and supportive environment for the practitioner. So, this is the explaining from the Jagriya Sutta. The Buddha mentioned all that's kind of the things. For example, like the moral principle. A moral principle is very necessary to practice meditation, especially for meditation master. You wanted to be meditation master, you have to be observe the moral principle. Moral principle. We also have the difference principle. For example, you are parents, that's why you have to be observe the parent principle according to Sengalo Wala Sutta. If you are like the daughter and son, you have to also observe the duty of son and daughter. Uh, for example, now you are a student, so you have to observe the duty of the student. So I'm like a teacher, so I have to also observe the duty. So the moral principle is the necessary for our society to develop and also to be safe. Um, that's why the Buddha mentioned that the first one, moral principle, moral principle. Um, and also according to the Buddhism, the moral principle is like a foundation. Without the moral principle, you cannot cultivate the concentration and meditation. So that's why the Buddha mentioned in the Visuddhimagga also, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. So Sila means that moral principle. So ethic is necessary. Ethic is a necessity to observe in our daily life and for our society. Very necessary. So that's the reason why that the Buddha also mentioned always sila like a moral conduct, like a moral principle, and ethic. So many times the Buddha talked to us moral principle and ethic. And I also we can see that like according to the Noble Eightfold Path, the Noble Eightfold Path, Samadhi, Samasankappa, Samavacha. In this method also the Buddha mentioned sila. Sila. So the sila is the more important in the Buddhism. So that's why the Buddha mentioned the first one, moral principle. After that, creating a safe. You are like a meditator or meditation master. You have to take care for the practitioner. Some practitioner, they are not innate healthy. They are not good healthy. So you need to take care for them. Like it. So the creating the safe. If you want to like bring out the meditation center, a meditation center, you also have to save place. And the people they want to come to join your meditation center or meditation place. you have to take care for that to be the safe, So in one sutta, this sutta is like a Metta Sutta. In Pali, we call Karaniya Metta Sutta. So Karaniya Metta Sutta, when we study about this background, one day the Buddhas and his follower, they go into forest and practice meditation without uh, distribution, without contribution of the bhavana, mean that metta. So all of the Buddhist monks and follower, they come to forest with the Buddha. And after that, at night, they practice meditation under the tree. So one tree, one monk. So they are sitting and practice meditation under the tree. But at night, the hungry coach, like a hungry coach and the they were separate, we can say. They are annoying to the Buddhist monk. They annoy him. So they cannot take a meditation anymore because they threaten and they show their face. It's very scared, very scary, very scared. They cannot meditation practice easily because the hungry coach and they create about the picture and they show that they are magic power. So that's why the Buddhist monk they're very scared. They're very afraid of that. So in early morning, the Buddhist monk they talk to Buddha. Buddha, last night we are not taking meditation easily. We have some annoyance and some like a destroying situation. So the Buddha asked to them, what happened that? How did you practice meditation? So the monks they talk to the Buddha. Yes, of course. Or like some separate and hungry coach, they annoying for us. So did you do anything? No, we just come to practice meditation. So that's why the Buddha talked to them. Okay, uh, my dear, oh my dear, you want to practice meditation before you need to contribute metta, like a metta bhavana, the contemplation of the in this place is your. I just come to the here to practice meditation. So during my practice meditation, I don't want you that to annoyance or like destroying. So the same way, please save me. Uh, don't be afraid of. May you all be being, may you all be well-being, may you all be happiness like that. So in this story that the Buddha to make a safe place for the monks. So the creating the safe is very necessary also. Creating the safe is also the important one. So the Buddha mentioned about this story to save their meditation life. So the same way in this sutta, the Buddha mentioned that creating the safe. And after that, inclusives mean that like a facility or like a supporting. So the inclusive that if you're going to like a forest, you need to suppose for healthy and also like a food and accommodation, everything. And also like a support this environment for the practitioner. So there is no any natural environments you cannot practice. I think very well. You know, now you live the apartment in the condo or maybe somewhere, but it is not saying the feeling. It is not saying feeling when you going to the forest. So forest and the apartment is a different emotion and different sensation. So that's why if you want to practice meditation, it should be forest in like the quiet place. This is better than for you to increase your concentration, this to increase your meditation. So that's why the Buddha mentioned about that ethic and mindfulness like one conceptual framework that to make ensure the mindfulness practice to be make the balance moral principle, creating a safe and inclusive and supportive environment for all the practitioners, including you. So for meditation master, mindfulness master, the ethic like acts is the complex of the conducting their work responsibility and compassionately. So if you want to be the mindfulness master, you have to be conducting work that means responsibility and compassionately. Responsibility means that you have to show your power in like a creative thinking and knowledge. And also you have to be take care for the practitioner. So the same way you have to show your compassion, compassion. So the compassion that also important one to creating the better and also the good society and the good communication. So that's why um for mindfulness master, the teacher or the practitioner deeply engaged in guiding others. They have to two. One is the responsibility, another one is like compassionately. So in here I'm just highlight the sum of the function, some of the dimension. So the core element for the mindfulness master, I think totally is nine. So nine core ethic, core ethic. The first one, integrity. So integrity. The integrity means that like the practice mindfulness with honestly and authenticity. It is why the Buddha mentioned is the first because it's more important one, integrity, and that to be honest, and also to have the authenticity. I think then here, according to the Buddha teaching, that if you want to be the meditation master, it should be fasting, should be honest, is a fact. And also you need to be authenticity, that is the reality, the reality. It's not the fake, it's not the lying, the authentics and also the honest, that is more important one. That's why the Buddha mentioned that the first one. So how? Because the staying true to the teaching and avoiding representation of the mindfulness for the personal or the commercial gain. It is a very important one because in my experience, some of the guidance, some of the guider, they are not correct. They are not the correct the reference. Sometimes they cannot show the evidence from the Buddhist text. So that's why without the evidence, maybe your presentation and your teaching is not useful for the people. So the information and also resources is an important one to show the evidence. So it's staying true to the teaching and avoiding misrepresentation of the mindfulness for personal of the commercial gain. So you wanted to be the mindfulness leader or the master. The first thing that we have to be the honest and authenticity. And if you have that things, you have to stay the true of the Buddha teachings. And also like the sharing knowledge or showing the creative activity or like that. So at that time, the mindfulness will be improved for our daily life. So the first thing that's like the core ethic for the mindfulness master, core ethic or mindfulness master. And number two, non-harming, ahimsa, ahimsa. So ahimsa means widen the killing living being, killing living being. Avoiding any action, worst, or the teaching that might cause the physical, emotional, and psychological harms to others. So no harming, non-harming method means that to avoidance not only the verbal but also the like physical. So physical and verbal or mental, we have to observe. This is the kinds of the ethic. This is the kinds of ethic. So the avoidance any actions, words, and teachings that might cause the physical, emotional, and psychological harms to others. So in your daily life, and in our daily life, we should be careful that's to make to others. And also the Buddha mentioned so many sutta, the concern about in it's very easy to crack, very easy to broken and to kill him because our voice slowly they come to be like a the crack like a crack. So that's in time to the killing. That's in time to uh the conflict between each other. So that's why the Buddhist teaching emphasize to observe non-harming. So if we are living in our society, we should intend into observing about the non-harming, including animal. So the animal also some non-city and then the human society, some of human society and country, they have developed about the animal right. Animal right mean that if you destroy something for the animal, like a cat, dog, like a fish, so you have to be punishment by governments and society. So this is the animal right. The same way, we we have to be like observing about the human right. So human right mean that you have observing, you are ethical conduct. You have to be observed ethical conduct after that you can creating the a peaceful society. That is the like a social justice and social practice. So number two is the non-harming also the important one to observe in our daily life. It's more important one that you are a meditation master, like a mindfulness master. We have to be more careful to observe our ethical content. That is to save not only you, but also for others. So the safely is also necessary in our society. So that's why the Buddha mentioned that non-harming ahimsa. And the last one that co-added for the mindfulness master. And the third one, the respect for autonomy. Respect for autonomy. So autonomy means that like empowering individuals to make their own choice in their mindfulness journey without imposing belief or the judgment. So autonomy that attitude and what they want and also what they want to be in the future. So we have to be respect. We have to respect for the practitioner. Or sometimes, for example, you are Buddhism, but sometimes in your meditation center, the other religion like a Christian or Islam or the others religious person, they will come to practice meditation in your center. Actually, you are Buddhist, but you have to understand the others' emotion, the others like you have to respect for the others. So uh though we show your your identity, like I am Buddhist, I'm Buddhist. You don't need to show about your identity. The people, the other religion, when they come to see you, you have to be respect in their identity or their attitude. Sometimes the concept is very different from the religion. For example, the Buddhas, he emphasized to anatta, anatta. But some religion is not intended to anatta, it means impermanence and non-self. But some religion, they are intended to like a self, but not non-self. So sometimes the concept of the religion is very different between us, but we have to show our respect for others. So that's why whenever you are, whoever you are, Buddhist or like a non-Buddhist, you have to show your respect for others. So that's why the people, when they come to practice meditation in your place, in center and college, empowering individuals to make their own choice. You have to accept and show the respect, and also in their mindfulness journey. So maybe 3 years ago, 3 years ago, I have one story that in console also. And then before after COVID-19 first year, I think so. After COVID-19 first year. And also when I studied the PhD in IBSc, in my classroom, we have a diversity. We are diversity because the different country, the different background. Like China's, like the Chinese student, and also the like USA, and in Bangladesh, in Thailand, in Myanmar, like this, we have a different background. It's diversity community. So when we go into the meditation practice, the Kamso, or the meditation master, he is Ajahansa. So Ajahansa, he point out the rising falling, rising falling. But this method is not familiar with for some student. So some student, they are very difficult to practice meditation about this method, but they just know about the breathe in, breathe out. Some student, they just like a emphasize their like their head to cultivation, the concentration. Some student, they are counting beach. Counting beach, it not really focus on like a rise and falling. But the time Ajahn he want us to practice rise and falling. When he made the interview also, he mentioned that rise and falling. But this method is very familiar with the Myanmar student, it doesn't matter. But for other foreigner students, they're very difficult to understand how to practice this method, how to get it, this concept. That's why they open mind that my friends, I'm not able to practice about this method. I don't know why. They just focus on the head and the counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like the counting. And some people, some students, they focus to practice breathe in, breathe out. But this method is very strictly for us. So they open that. So that's why one day in interview, he talked to Ajahn Sam. Ajahn, I'm not familiar with this method. How should I do that? So Ajahn Sam, he said, okay, firstly, you should try. If you cannot try to practice this method, you can practice that you have. You can practice that you have. So my friends, he's from Chinese student, Chinese. He practice about the anapanasati. So breathe and breathe, breathe and breathe down. So that is the respect for others. Because at that time, no, you cannot practice like a breathe in, breathe out. You have to practice only the method like a rise and falling. That is not the respect. So in the future, or if you are a meditation master or mindfulness master, we have to take care to make the village balance for others. So that's why the Buddha mentioned it here, respect for autonomy. It means that their own choice, and without any judgment, without any imposing belief. Um, that is the right way. The Buddha also mentioned that you try, but you cannot practice very well. You can practice what you have and what you know. So that is the one story in our college. So you can also have your own choice to practice meditation. It doesn't matter. So this is the number three. And after that, we have one more thing, the competition. So competition means that like a sometime we have a competition. How the maintaining privacy regarding their personal experience, or like a disclosure or the practitioner during the session. Sometimes, for example, some people when they practice meditation, they close the eye, but the eye is not like a close. Some people when they try to practice meditation firstly, their mind is like a uh their mind is like up and down. Sometimes they are crying. Sometimes they're crying very deeply. Sometimes they are very upset. Sometimes they are like how to say, they're so happy. Sometimes they're so happy, but they're not really happy. Like sometimes it's very look like a fool person, like it's like sometimes the crazy guy like it. So you are a meditation master or you are leader, you should be take care about the competition of the personal. So it means the privacy for the personal experience, privacy or for the personal experience. During the meditation course or during the meditation section, um, in also the meditation retreat, some student they are crying too much because they happy. Sometimes when they happy, they are so crying. Some student they are not happy because it's very hot. It's very hot, very suffer. So that's why whenever you know about the personally or personal experience, you have to observe that we call confidential for practitioner, for meditator. So that is believed to you, and but also you are center. And and also maybe the sometime concern about the competition or for ethic. You try to make a meditation retreat, the time that maybe sometimes you lose your belonging, sometimes like a shoe or like some clothes or some blanket, some medicine like that. You lose sometime. So but it's not our college, maybe somewhere, yeah. If you go into meditation practice, you lose some your belonging. That is very worse. It's very bad because we come to practice meditation, but you lose your belonging because of they are not observing the sila, they are not observing the ethic. So that is also the showing about the competition and also like ethic. So if you try to open the meditation retreat or maybe blog call or whatever, you have to make a privacy the regarding for the personal experience. This is the one more important things to save the data or like to save the information, to save the information. And after that, like Another one that like a cultural sensitivity. Cultural sensitivity means that like a different background, different understanding, different background, different understanding, and also like a different attitude to practice meditation. Practice meditation. Uh, but without understanding all the real Buddhists, uh, you should guide into them to see the right way. So maybe some people they want to practice meditation, but they don't know exactly the teaching of the Buddha. The time you have a chance to explain for others. But some practitioner they already know about the some concept. They already study about the some Buddhist teachings. The time you have to understand because of they have their own study and they have some culture like a different school like a Theravada and Mahayana and Vajrayana. So Mahayana also they also have the meditation technique. So Vajrayana also they have a meditation technique and Theravada also we have. So sometimes it's not the same concept. We are so different sometimes, very, very different sometimes. But some of things are very similar, very similar. So when you see the different school and different background, we have to understand their culture. So in this section, the Buddha mentioned that like acknowledging and respecting the cultural root of the mindfulness. The primarily Buddhist tradition, wine beings inclusive of the diverse practice. So nowadays, in the Western people, they intend to practice meditation with the psychologists, like a psychology, um, like a Buddhist psychology, and also the Buddhist mindfulness and psychology, the Western psychology. So nowadays, they intend to create about the new course, like a chaplaincy, like a counseling, uh, Buddhist counselings, and also psychopathology, and also psychology, and also psychotherapies. So the different kind of the fee they wanted to create about their course and also distribution about the concept. So if you see that maybe like a one scholar, he is the psychologist. He know about the psychology very well. But he don't believe about the Buddhism. But if they study about the Buddhism, they have to respect the concept of the Buddha teaching. So after that, he will more understand what the Buddha teaching and they are psychology. So the same way, uh, we was born in Asia and also we know about the Buddhist teachings very well. After that, when we integrate the two method with the psychology, the Western psychology and the philosophy, we have to respect. Don't you think that the Buddha teaching is only right? Not like that. Uh, Not only Buddha teaching right, but also the other the other people's idea, the other techniques also right. So we have to make the balance between us to understand the cultural sensitivity. So that's why in Jagriya Sutta, the Buddha mentioned it here, we have to respect the cultural roof of the mindfulness, cultural rule of the mindfulness, and also like for example, like a Buddhist tradition. So the concern about that, we have a lot of tradition in India because the Buddhism, the root of the Buddhism is from India. So when you come to the India, you will see there are a lot of traditions concerning about the meditations, like a Hindi, like a Zoroastrian and Sikhism, and also Deva or Brahmana. there's any kinds of the concept. So many things, so many things. Uh, but one thing that they are very unity and diversity. Diversity. Whenever they diversity, they can make the communicate each other without any conflicts. Without any conflicts. Um, the root of the diversity, the root of the you know the cultural sensitivity is very developed in India, very developed in India. So when you are like a mindfulness master or meditation, the leader, you have to be respect the cultural root of the mindfulness and like a Buddhist tradition also. Sometimes you know and another one that's like a we have like a Hindi. So Jain tradition, they are not wearing the clothes, but their attitude and their practice is wonderful because they are apart of from the Buddhism, apart from the Buddhism. So Buddhism also they have some same concepts, some same concepts. So uh, in our tradition, in Buddhist tradition, even though we have a different school, Mahayana, Theravada, and Vajrayana, whenever we have a different school and different culture, we have to respect. Respect. So that's why the Buddha mentioned it here. And another one that like a competency and ongoing learning. Ongoing learning. Um, for what it means that you have to be studying more and more, focus on your journey, education journey, to improvement or to more understand you and the others. The competency and ongoing learning mean that mindfulness master adequately training, engage, and continuous education to refine their skills and stay informed about the ethical consideration. You see that if you wanted to the master, you have to train yourself and also to refine their skill, their skill. You know, in Myanmar, in our country, in my country, we have a lot of meditation center. A lot of meditation center in Myanmar, Rangoon, Mandalay, I think all of the country, all of the country. But the problem is that uh, most of the meditation master, they didn't practice meditation really. They just learn it. They just know it, but without practice. So meditation it's not just only knowing. Meditation it's not just only learning and teaching. Practice. So you just knowing that maybe it's not really useful for you without practice. So the practice is more important one than the learning. Without practice, that is useless. Without practice, your knowledge and learning life, that is not the real happiness. That is not the real things. So that's why we need to do the practically and physically. Physically. So in Myanmar, most of the meditation center, most of the meditation master, they just learning how to practice meditation without practice. And after that, they are distribution and they are guidance for the people. The practitioner, the people, they really practice. The time they have a good experience to talking about the meditation procedure or process. But the meditation master, they don't have experience. They just knowing the knowledge. So that time is problem, a big problem between them because the master not really practice meditation, just knowing, just learning. It's not enough. It's not enough. So that's why the master, it should be master, it should be master at that training. Without the training, without the engagement, their skill is not the improvement. They are not have a skill. So up skill is one of the quality for the meditation master and a mindfulness master. So like stay informed about the ethical consideration. So and also not only the education and knowledge and learning, but also like a ethic consideration. It's mean that to be defined that to define and to consider about some of the issue, you have to be ethic. It mean the right place, the right person like that. Right place, a right person, a right attitude you have to be. So this is the one of the core ethic for the meditation master to observe. So ensuring mindfulness master are adequately trained and engage in continuous education to refine their art skill and stay informed about the etiquette consideration. So that is the one of the this is the one of the cool work. This is the one of the cool work for our the mindfulness master. So in the next one that core etiquette for the mindfulness master is mean that the compassion and empathy. Compassion and empathy. Compassion, it does the karuna. And compassion is that the karuna. Uh, Empathy is like a economy. We can say like a the mudita like it. So, karuna is the mudita. The karuna is the mudita. So, the karuna means that's like a compassion to all the people cultivating or like a mindfulness meditation. So empathy is also like a you are meditation master, but in your practitioner, one practitioner, he more practice better than you. He can more explaining better than you. You have to be empathy. Empathy. That's we call mudita. So what I said the Buddha here, what the Buddha said here, the practicing and teaching mindfulness with kindness and understanding. The fostering the supported environments. So it means that if you have a compassion and empathy, that is also supported environments because you take care for other. So compassion and empathy mean that take care for others.
师傅学佛很多年了，是的。
If you take care for the
不过
others,
我觉得我们同行没有帅的呀，一个都没有看。就是其实我们就是认识碰到这些挺难的，那些小怪物们是吧？你跟小怪都我们都碰到都是很难的。
so it's mean that if you have a compassion and empathy, you can take care for the others. So if you take care for the others, that is a subordinate for others. This is subordinate for the environments. So without the compassion, without the empathy means without careless, without mindfulness, uh, you cannot support them for the environment. So that's why the Buddha mentioned here, compassion and empathy is one of the necessary to cultivating and to supporting and for our community, And this is a now city also. This is more important one to distribution our attitude for the other people. So for example, like you take care for the people and also the take care for other society. And also if you see that some people, they very like a happy or maybe they very wealthy, you have to show your empathy. Empathy. So, so the Buddha teaching is not just only learning and teaching, including the practice. Practice. Without the practice, you cannot really understand. You cannot really understand the Buddha teaching. So now you study the mindfulness meditation master. Anyway, you study now, but if you are not practice meditation without practice, there is no any way to understand the real things, real Buddha teachings. This is one of the uh, suggestion for you. So, and after that, the Buddha also mentioned avoiding exploration. Exploration. It means like a you have to avoid the exploring, the like a the the vulnerability of their student, and whether financially, emotionally, or in other ways. Um, vulnerability is me like a sometimes the student they want to help the others. The time you have to allow to others. Sometimes the student they have a financially it's not easy. Financially is sometimes it's not ready for that. So we have to understand the situation for the student. And sometimes the emotionally because um, they also have the same emotion with the families, with the job, with their business. But the time that we have to understand each other to help the people. So the exploration that like you just wondering to know what happened, like why you ask the question why, how. So but it's not really good for the exploration. It's not really good for the core ethic, for the practitioner or for meditator. You are a meditation master. I think you need to have the ethical conduct and also the privacy to observing. So not really exploring for the others, not exploring for the others. So the Buddha also mentioned it here, avoiding exploration. It means that mindfulness master it should be avoid exploring the vulnerability of their student and financial like emotion and the other things also the other thing. So this is another thing to avoid all the exploration. And also transparency. Transparency means that like being open about the method and like intention, and sometimes expectation of the mindfulness practice. So now we are running on online. Maybe next year, I don't know. They will open for the classroom on site or online. Maybe on site is better than for us to make the some creative activity. Online is not it's not really nice for do the creative activity. It's like a group workshop or like a the short trainings or like a you know the teamwork like that cannot do online. So the transparency means that to create about their attitude, their thinking, subordinate or method. So concerning about that, we have to be open mind or open mind for the method and intention. Uh, and also you are like a meditation leader or mindfulness master. The time is some student they have a good idea and good intention that So you have to open mind for the people and to practice meditation very well, or like a to more understand and to more easily to practice meditation. The time you have to transparency. So this is one of the method from the Buddha. The Buddha like in terms to understanding about that one, Jagriya Sutta. So, so another one, why ethics are better for mindfulness practice. So now we are talking about the totally nine core ethics. The nine core ethics. Why ethics are very important for mindfulness practice. Because that I mentioned before that without the ethical conduct, the first slide, without the ethical conduct, we cannot create in the like safe. We cannot creation about the implement. So that's why the ethical conduct is one of the better rule. Better rule means that's main things for the mindfulness practice. Mindfulness practice. So you see it here. Why? Because of the preserving the essence of the mindfulness. So the preserving the essence of mindfulness means that the ethic like protect the mindfulness from being diluted into the commodified or superficial practice. So preserving the essence of the mindfulness to creation, to improvement, to development about our superficial practice. This means more and more practice. If you practice meditation more and more easily, more and more to see the concentration, insight in meditation is like that. It's like that. But without these improvement, without these development, maybe you are not preserving the essence of the mindfulness. So without preserving the mindfulness, you are not unable to practice easily. You are not unable to practice superphysical practice. Superphysical practice. That's why the Buddha mentioned here, the preserving the essence of the mindfulness is important one. This is the playing the bitter rule. The bitter rule. And another one, what happened? So another one that we have the fostering trust. Fostering trust is that like a ethical guideline for the people. The trust is also the necessary. Maybe for example, if you don't believe the Buddha, you if you don't believe the Buddha teaching, you don't believe the Buddha. So the same way, if you don't maybe believe that some people, maybe you are not getting anything. So the fostering task ethical guideline had the people to bring up the safe and trust environments for the practitioner. For the practitioner. So so that's why that's reason why uh it's the top is more important one during in our like practice meditation during the time of the practice meditation. So the first starting top that top is more the important one to bring that for our safe. It's both side and trust the environments for the practitioner. Without the trust, you are not joined to meditation retreat. Without the trust, you are not like a belief. You are not unable to join the meditation retreat. Uh, you come to join the meditation retreat because you trust. You trust. Maybe you hope that something you get it. Something you get it. So That's the reason why that you join the meditation retreat, and also you are intent to like a fostering touch to the people, fostering to the people. And at the time, maybe the meditation master or the meditation leader, they will guide them to you how to help the people, how to have the how to make it safe for other people. It's like that. So this is the one ethical rules for meditation master and the meditation practitioner. Meditation practitioner. And another one that like a uh, preventing harm that I mentioned before, preventing harm. Addressing potential risks, ensure mindfulness remain a tool for healing and growth. Uh, it means you have to see the people and the practitioner without any healing, without any harming. So, addressing potential risk that to make the mindfulness remaining. So, mindfulness is one of the remaining two. Mindfulness is one of the main important things for healing and growing. So, healing means that to reduce your stress, to reduce your depression, to reduce your unhappy mind, and also to growing your emotion, uh, your sensation, and also your mindset. So that's why the potential risk is that to make ensure about your mindfulness power. Mindfulness power. If you have the mindfulness power, mindfulness practice in your daily life, and then you can move stably your life and your mind. You know, sometimes we are so surprising to make the solving problem. We never hold that, but you get you never hold that, but you have the some problem to solving the theory. So the time you're so tired, you will be so tired, you will be so hard to solve this problem. You don't have any idea to find out the solution. The time uh, you will be your mind is not stably that direct, or why I have to be like it, uh, why the problem is come to me that it's not I'm not really happy in this situation. How can I overcome this suffer? uh, how can I overcome to that to be complete and succeed? You have a lot of worry, but the timing, if you have been like this, is nothing. If you have some surprising like a the problem or the conflict, you need to take a rest. You need to take a rest and uh, please thinking carefully, and also please take your time to think and rest. And after that, you can make a decision that. So during the take a rest and take a think about a big issue, you should be mindfulness. So without mindfulness, you cannot write things, write thought. So that's why the mindfulness it does guiding to you to see the right things the right way. There is no any practice meditation. I think you are not right on the way. You cannot see the right things because your mind is very shake. It's very your mind is like a tempo, as a high tempo, and also your mind is like a hyper, like a monkey mind. So cannot think about the right way without mindfulness, without mindfulness. So that's why all the Buddhas and all the practitioners and the scholar they mentioned that to have mindfulness is more important. The Buddha also so many time to talk about that mindfulness. It's mean like a apamadena sambadita, apamadena sambadita. So many time. We cannot count it. I think mostly when you study the Buddhist literature and Buddhist teaching, apamadena sambadita is mostly you found it. Mostly you found it. So that's why the Buddha mentioned that mindfulness is that to make sure, and also this is one of the important roles for healing our life. Healing our life. Everybody have like a problem. Everybody have some problem. When you have this problem, uh, you would find the way how to solve this problem. But without mindfulness, you cannot ride on the way. So the mindfulness it should be with you always. Whenever you have the problem and the problematic issue or conflict, that is the right way for us to use or to practice mindfulness meditation in our daily life. In our daily life. So after that, like one more that we have like a cultural integrity. So I already mentioned that two things here is that the integrate method. So recognizing the origin and the cultural significance of the mindfulness to prevent the cultural appropriating and mixed presentation. Cultural integrity means that like to make good society, to create the good community without any crisis, without any conflicts, based on the originally or your cultural significance. Uh, for example, when you go to some country like a Thailand or like a Singapore, so Singapore is very strictly to practice meditation because of their country policy is a little bit strange for the others. Even though they are democracy is a democracy country, but uh, concerning about the religion, they are very sensitive. So they are not really allowed to practice meditation. But uh, they can practice meditation on the right way. That is any without crisis, without any discriminate, without any conflict. So that's why when you're trying to practice meditation, that's to understand about the root origin of the culture, the root of the culture. If you understand the policy of the nation, if you understand about the root of the nature, you will more participate for others. And also you can create the big community and a society. So that's why the cultural integrity is one of important thing for the mindfulness leader or mindfulness practitioner. So this is the one of the cultural integrity to observing the practitioner or meditation leader. So for example that in here, like a commercialization. First one that when mindfulness practice are so appropriately, their essence can be destroyed. It's like, of course, that um, I think you have an experience about that, concern about that because when mindfulness practice are so appropriately, sometimes we are comfortable, not comfortable to practice about that. So that's why you are absent and it can be destroyed. Destroyed. It may not really improved, not really like a comfortable. So number two, like a power dynamics. Power dynamics mean that like a use of the authority by mindfulness master can harm the student-teacher relationships. So power dynamic that you show your power. For example, like the lecturer or the teacher, you show your power and authority to the student. So that's kind of thing is make a power dynamic. The master can harm and the students and teacher relationship. So this is also the one of the negative impact for the mindfulness leader or the mindfulness master. So the last one that over promotion benefits, like it is me the mindfulness ethical mindfulness avoid overstanding the effect of the mindfulness. Overstudying that like a too much practice, like a too much practice and also uh, too much doing something. So you have to be overstudying the effort of the mindfulness, such as like the claiming is the cure of the enemy, like sometimes the people like a fisherman, they like the really fishing because they are very happy. Some people they say that the fishing is relaxed for their life. So if they want to be relaxed, they are going to fishing. They're going to fishing. But actually, you should think about that. If you're trying to fishing, that is the real relax or not. Because you want to be the relaxation in your life. But this doing that wrong doing. So fishing means the wrong thing. Because you killing the animal, you killing the fish. So in your daily life, you want to be the relaxation, happily and peacefully. Maybe you should find out the other ways and not harming and the others people like a fishing or the something that. So like over promising the benefit that like you should be take care that you want to mindfulness practice such as the climate and the cure of the uh, ailment. So that is like a most of the exam I did exam 1, 2, 3. I mentioned that and then here. So I will be start my lecture in here in the conclusion that etiquette etiquette mindfulness practice is one of the discipline to continue practice for what for promote the peace, understanding, and also the personal growing. So why we are study about the ethic and mindfulness, why we need to observe the ethic because to promote the peace, to promote understanding, and also the personal growing in our daily life, uh, concerning about the meditation practice. So any question, if you have any question, you can ask me here. Do you have question? Okay. Okay, if you don't have any question, I will copy the attendee list. And I also have an one announcement. That's me. I don't have a class in the afternoon session because this afternoon I have to be submit my research paper. So I cannot make a class this afternoon. But we will have the class um, the day after tomorrow on Sunday. So we will have the class that Sunday usual. But this afternoon we don't have a class. So 24. Today is the 24. So Mrs. Emma.
Yes, I'm here, Ajahn.
Okay. Mrs. Ji Quick Xu. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Wirat, Ajahn
Yes,
Wirat.
here.
I'm here. Right. So I will say it again. So today afternoon we don't have a class because I have a submission to my research. So maybe the day after tomorrow, maybe 26, we have a class usually. Okay. So I will be start my lecture here. So we should omit the Buddha. Arahant Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Bhutan Bhagavantan Abhivademi Swakado Bhagavata Dhammo Dhamma Namasami Sopatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sangha Namami. Okay, thank you so much.
Bye bye.